I'm going to do practice plan number 6 in the practice plans that I shared. So the first one was the base running, the first base competition, which again I love. It's a great way to create competition, which in turn creates an urgency, which is a very realistic feel when you're at first base. But let's talk about the next group. So what I have is I have catcher, second baseman, catch it, block it, throw it. So we got to be careful when we do indoor practice plans. Sometimes the catching position gets neglected and you just concentrate on infield and outfield when the catching position is the most important defensive position. I might be biased, but I still think it's true. So what I like to do is this catch it, block it, throw it. You have and let's just work off of this picture in case you're limited with space. So your catcher is here, and then you have a coach right there. And the catch it, block it, throw it is just such a great way to work the catcher. So often we just do blocking drills, but we don't really embrace this idea of having them see it and recognize it as to when they should block and when they should catch it. So what I do is coach here on a bucket and catchers right here, and you just throw them balls. And sometimes you throw catchable balls, and sometimes you throw blockable balls. And but every now and then you yell runner, and maybe you have a second baseman here just hanging out. But when you hear that runner call, he goes in the direction of the bag, and depending how high level you are and how much space you have, you could coach him up on how to move to the bag. At the lowest of level, you're probably moving to the bag. At the higher levels, you're probably going to the front of the bag and then reading the throw. So there's some really good opportunities there, but essentially that occupies that area. Okay, that's a catcher and second baseman, some good coaching opportunities there. And then the third baseman, first baseman, charge ball, backhand, picks at first. So now what you're doing is you've got, and you can set this second coach if he's really good, really good with a fungo. Maybe he's even there with a fungo, which is crazy. But if he's not really good with a fungo, it could be as basic as right there. And what you're now working is you're working that diagonal where the third baseman is working on a charge ball, he's working on a backhand ball, and then many times we yell all picks at first base. And what we're basically saying is every ball they throw needs to be a dirt ball, so the first baseman's picking. We are declaring we want a bad throw, so the first baseman is working all picks. So that's the third baseman, first baseman. And now you've got a group of people that might not be actively engaged. You've got balls flying through the middle of this field. So what I have written is knee work. So you put a couple kids over here, and they're on their knees. And if they're an infielder, they're working on short hops, and if they're an outfielder, they're working on dives. Because you don't want to dive indoors; that hurts. But if you're on your knees, the outfielders do have fun trying to stretch and reach, and then controlling their fall, which is something that you want to teach. It's fun, and you can throw that across. You got balls whizzing. But for the most part, it's a safe thing if everyone's on the edges. The next thing, let's talk about hitting. So I've got it broken up into 3 hit stations, hit targets off a tee. Young kids aren't good at tee work. It's often a waste of time. It's great for older guys. They have a little better imagination. They're trying to execute something. I found that young people don't have a great plan off a tee unless you give them a plan. So hit a target off a tee means set something out there in space that they're trying to hit. The other idea, the 2-ball front flip, I've talked about that extensively with the green light stuff where you've got one ball that's a go ball, another ball that's a take ball, and you're training their anticipation, trying to be aggressive. If they see the take ball, they're trying to take it. All the while being aggressive and never taking the hit ball. So that's a go-to. That's always a good one. The second one, I have down 3, 6 outs to go, create a situation. I just picked a situation. You can pick whichever one you want, but the cool thing about this is everyone's on the same team. It's not like they're trying to beat each other. They're all trying to beat the standard. And you're down 3 runs and you got 6 outs to go. So essentially, it's the last 2 innings of a game. And the coach is, of course, the judge. But, you hit a single. Now there's a runner on first, nobody out. You hit a double, second and third, nobody out. We didn't send them because there's nobody out. So we're not risking that. So there's some opportunities to teach base running implicitly as you're communicating the hit game. Okay. And then the batting practice with friends. Don't ever underestimate just the idea of kids having fun with their friends taking BP. And then end that with the spotlight game where you put a pitcher in the middle. And of course, you had to get someone warmed up to do this, but you have all eyes on him. The team is watching him, parents and friends and the pizza delivery guy all come in and watch to create a little pressure. So that's practice number 6.